Welcome. Let's begin with a simple thought. Change is constant, but it's also not random. Strategic foresight helps us make sense of the changes around us and prepares us for what's ahead. Instead of reacting to surprises, we can learn to anticipate them. Today, we'll explore some of the most powerful tools that help individuals and organizations perceive early signs of change so we can respond with clarity and confidence. Strategic foresight is more than just guessing what might happen next. It's a structured approach to thinking about the future. It helps us imagine multiple scenarios, some expected, others surprising, so we can be ready for anything. Foresight helps reduce risk, spark innovation, and create more sustainable strategies by looking beyond the short term and toward long-term possibilities. Let's break down two essential building blocks in foresight. Weak signals are faint, early signs that something is changing. Think of them like whispers on the wind, easy to miss, but full of potential. Trends are stronger, more visible patterns that have gained traction. They help us understand the direction in which things are already moving. The more we tune into these, the better we get at seeing change coming. This model helps us balance the present with the future. Horizon 1 is about what we're doing today, our current systems and strategies. Horizon 2 focuses on what's emerging, those new developments we need to watch. Horizon 3 is where visionary thinking happens, long-term, transformational futures. Foresight isn't about picking one horizon. It's about navigating all three at once. One exciting tool is the trend receiver method. It was developed in collaboration with Audi to improve their understanding of future needs, not just by crunching data, but by listening to people with unique perspectives. These trend receivers notice shifts early, before they show up in the mainstream. Through interviews and analysis, we can use their insights to stay ahead of the curve. So, who are these trend receivers? They're not necessarily experts in any one field. Instead, they're innovative thinkers who see connections others miss, adaptable, always exploring new ideas, natural connectors across disciplines, skilled at finding meaning in complexity. Their strength lies in seeing the future before the rest of us do. Using this method involves 4 steps. 1. Identify the right people, those with unusual insights. 2. Interview them with open questions about emerging changes. 3. Analyze what they say and find repeating patterns. 4th, track those patterns over time to see which signals grow stronger. This method has been used successfully in industries from healthcare to finance. Another important foresight technique is expert elicitation, a fancy term for getting valuable knowledge out of experts' heads. We can do this through structured interviews, direct observation, repertory grids, which show how experts categorize concepts, group discussions like the Delphi method, which builds consensus through rounds of input. These methods help capture both what experts know and what they sense. To do this well, we need to identify where we have knowledge gaps, choose the right experts with relevant experience, match the right technique to the type of knowledge we're seeking, and always be aware of biases like overconfidence or groupthink. With these practices, we turn hidden expertise into actionable foresight. Let's look at a few real-world examples. In healthcare, interviews with clinicians led to the development of new medical devices. In finance, foresight uncovered upcoming regulatory shifts so firms could adapt early. In the energy sector, expert insights help guide investment in renewable infrastructure. In each case, strategic foresight revealed futures that might otherwise have been missed. Sometimes the future isn't just predicted, it's imagined. Cultural products like science fiction, movies, art, and media offer windows into society's hopes and fears. They help us explore what might be possible. These stories don't always get the future exactly right, but they inspire conversation, provoke thought, and highlight emerging values. Take a look at these examples. 2001, A Space Odyssey imagined AI, assistants like HAL, long before we had Siri or Alexa. Neuromancer described a digital network years before the internet. Minority Report featured gesture-based interfaces that inspired real-world tech. Science fiction often plants seeds for the real innovations of tomorrow. Why do stories matter so much in Foresight? Because our brains are wired for narrative. People remember stories far better than facts alone. Stories increase engagement and help leaders make better decisions. When we wrap scenarios in narrative, they become tools, not just for analysis, but for action. Artificial intelligence is changing how we scan for trends. AI can gather data from millions of sources, from patents to tweets. Machine learning identifies patterns and connections humans might miss. Natural language processing helps AI understand meaning and emotion behind the data. And it all gets delivered through powerful visual tools that make complexity easier to act on. AI brings enormous advantages to Foresight work. It sees more across languages, regions, and domains. It sees faster, delivering real-time updates as things unfold. It helps reduce bias, if designed responsibly. And it gets better over time, learning from what signals turn into trends. In other words, AI is a Foresight partner that never sleeps. AI tools are already shaping strategy. In areas like consumer behavior prediction, market trend forecasting, supply chain disruption alerts. These technologies extend our Foresight capabilities and help us move from speculation to smarter decisions. But with great power comes great responsibility. Foresight, especially when it involves data, raises ethical questions. How do we protect privacy? How do we avoid bias in the data we collect? Are participants informed and consenting? And who's accountable for the outcomes we help shape? These are questions we can't ignore. Ethical foresight starts with responsible data practices. Anonymization to protect privacy, representativeness to include diverse voices, consent to respect participant rights, security to keep information safe, and benefit sharing to return value to those who contributed. Foresight should serve society, not just strategy. Ethics goes beyond privacy. It touches every part of Foresight. Technology ethics, AI bias, surveillance, the digital divide, social ethics, job displacement, inequality, demographic shifts, governance ethics, regulatory gaps, global accountability. To build better futures, we must understand the risks of the tools we use to imagine them. To wrap it all up, trend receivers help us detect change early. Expert elicitation draws out deep insight from specialists. Cultural products inspire futures thinking through stories and symbols. AI tools expand what's possible in trend detection and analysis. And an ethical framework ensures our foresight is responsible, inclusive, and impactful. The future is coming, ready or not. With the right tools and mindset, we can meet it with wisdom, imagination, and care.
Preparing for change involves leveraging trend receivers, expert knowledge, cultural products, AI tools, and ethical frameworks. These elements help organizations anticipate and navigate future disruptions, ensuring informed and responsible decision-making.